This is unbelievable. A couple places have this story, this ICE docket card that they have. You can't make this up. It's the part of the ICE Secure Docket Card. It was first reported last year as a pilot program, right? And they said that it's going to modernize various forms of documentation that are provided provisionally. Can we stop using these words? We all know you don't mean that. Don't sit here and tell us temporary. Don't tell us provisionally. I mean, you're making this a permanent thing. I mean, isn't it? Wait a minute. Whoa, hold up. Is this racist? I was told ID cards were racist. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, that's the sound of a break. Side note to production. Can Dana get a break noise for her Farrago? Thank you. I was told this is racist. No, that's what they've said. No, listen. This is what they've said. They've said, the Democrats, that if you are for any kind of any kind of ID, particularly the voting kind, which is just ID, that's racist. You're a racist. If you are for that, if you think that people should have that. So, I want to make sure I understand this. If you have to have an ID here in the United States as a citizen of the United States and you're going to go vote, that is racist. But if you enter the country illegally, you're just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, given a free ID, all yours, your photo, everything. It's your ID that you can go and use. That's not racist.
I don't get it.
I am so confused here. I was told that, and the people who come in at the border, they're not removed. I'm actually kind of surprised that, every Venezuelan individual, everybody who came in from Venezuela, I will say, the people I know who came from Venezuela immigrated legally, so I don't know. They're pretty conservative. Oh, wait, it's the Cubans they don't want. That's right. It's the Cubans that the Democrats don't want. Those are the people that they said, no, go back to Castro land. Go back. Everybody else is okay, though, because, we can still maybe mold how you vote, but you Cubans got to go back, right? That's the rule. So they say that the new ID card, it has room for a photo, a QR code, the ICE logo. It has all of that stuff, and they're given those. It's going to provide important access to important documents through a portal. Yeah, I'm sure that everybody's going to be using that. Don't you think so, Kane? I mean, just look at the percentage of people who enter the country illegally and are given a court date to go before an immigration judge. Just look at how 100% of the time they all go back. Yeah, it's 90% of the time they go back. 80%? No. 70?
No.
60?
Not even close.
I feel like, how many bowls of total does it take? But so I'm sure that there are some people that are going to follow the law after they broke it by coming into the country illegally. Sure. Yeah. ICE, why is ICE now a welfare office? That's what this is. ICE is turned into a welfare office. They're not detaining and deporting people. They're handing out entitlements. That's a welfare office. Oh my gosh, but then I love the hypocrisy of this. Democrats are like, oh my gosh, if you don't want those people coming across the border, you're so bad. Oh, but don't send them here. We can't handle it. Kathy Hochul, we can't handle it. I'm amazed at this. So we have the jackbooted feds going down, cutting the fencing at the border. Greg Abbott says it's an invasion. We've got ICE handing out all these ID cards, these secure docket cards. And then you had the administration give a quote-unquote temporary, if you believe that, DHS offering deportation protection to over 470,000 Venezuelans. And what did we have this week, just the other day? What was it in Eagle Pass that was 9,000? And they're all single adults. That's the other thing from Border Patrol. They are like 99% single adults. And the numbers have jumped. Over 180,000 encounters in July. Guess what it is in August? Guess what the numbers haven't been released, but guess what the early estimates are for August? It was 180,000 alone in July. Guess for August? 230,000. In the last 5 days at 2 ports of entry, officials have made over 45,000 encounters with illegal aliens. That's just in the last 5 days. Multiple days of over 8,000 illegal immigrant encounters. And they're struggling to deal with everybody coming in. They can't deal with it. This is honestly, I view it as an attack on the nation. And I don't know how you don't impeach the President of the United States for this alone. Because it is an absolute violation of not just the Constitution, but it's an absolute violation of state laws that are at the border that have the legal obligation to maintain border security. I feel like if the United States isn't going to sit here and enforce laws, then why should any of us follow laws? And let me tell you, pray to God that the people who follow law and order and abide by the law, pray that you never push them to the point where they don't want to follow the law anymore, because those are the people you got to worry about. But I think that's what they want. I mean, this is all by design. This is all by design. This is the administration trying to punish border states and absolutely foment total chaos, which I thought was asinine. When you had DeSantis, when he was talking to, who was this, ABC, Audio Soundbite 9, this reporter was trying to tell him, well, you're just going to bring chaos to the border. He wouldn't have none of it. Listen to this.
They are killing our citizens. They are invading our country. We have every right to hold them accountable and to fight back.
But with regard to bringing the military in to shoot them, just want to say you have touted yourself as the law and order candidate. How is that not a recipe for chaos?
It's not a recipe for right now is the recipe for chaos. I mean, you see all the people coming across the border. A lot of these countries like Venezuela, they're letting people out of prison and they're sending them to the border. I mean, what is happening in this country is a problem. There's Russians coming across the border. There's people from the Middle East. As much as I hate to say this, I think it's true that we're going to look back at some point and say there's going to have been some terrorist attack in this country that is going to be traced to what's happened to the border. And then, of course, we know.
Yeah. Nobody knows who's coming in at the border. Do you know how many times Border Patrol have updated and said, oh, my gosh, they've detained terrorists, people who are actually on watch lists at the border. This is what border states have been dealing with, and this administration is trying to prove a point. They're trying to get this optic. They're carrying this stunt out on the backs of these residents that are in these border towns. And let me tell you, these are hardworking people. They're not billionaires. They're not super wealthy people. They want to work. They want to live their lives. They want to have a safe community. I get emails from people who live in these towns who are worried about their kids walking to school. I hear from people who are in our listening areas that literally drive by detainment centers. They see them. I have people who listen to this program and watch the simulcast that own property that is right on the Rio. They can't go out after dusk to check on their livestock because, God forbid, they run into a cartel member. This is real life. This isn't some kind of Jack Ryan made-for-television series. This is what these people are dealing with at the hands of this administration. And we got the Republicans getting involved. I'm going to be real. You got Republicans in Texas in this big giant circle jerk going after Ken Paxton. Everything else, where are you, Dade Phelan, and all of you other mindless bimbos helping us at the border? Where are you for El Paso? Where are you for Eagle Pass? Where are you for KURV? Where are you for all of these areas? They're drowning. They're not giving any lip service or helping Abbott. They're not facing off against the Biden administration. They're power jockeying because you have a family, a dynastic family that is losing power because they're getting old and they can't win offices anymore. And all they got to do is carry out these petty grievance wars against elected officials that are doing more than elected officials in other states. And who's paying for it? We the people. We're paying for it. I mean, literally, we are paying for it with lives, with our tax dollars, with all of this. I am so done with this right now. I am so done with it. But you know what? As fed up as we all are, you cannot be as fed up as the people who live on the border. You are not going to be as fed up as the border agent who has been pulling a 14-hour shift in the heat, getting shot at from the other side of the Rio by cartels, putting up some kind of fencing, all they can do as a force multiplier to help them corral the deluge coming across the border. And then you have the jackbooted thugs for the federal government coming in and cutting those fences. They might as well be coming in and busting the lock on your front door. This is the Biden administration declaring war on border towns. This is the Biden administration declaring war on border states. It's the Biden administration and the Democrat Party that is declaring war on the American people without a shot fired yet.